Recap live here on SourceFedNERD. I am Matt Lieberman. Joining me on the couch, Mr. Sam Basher.
That's this boy.
And Mr. DJ Wildridge.
I'm that boy.
Yes, and this is that show on the web where we talk about all your favorite superhero TV shows, talking about Supergirl, talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Flash, and Arrow returning. It's a very, very special day today because Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice just came out to the theaters. We went and saw it last night. We're going to be talking about it on a separate stream. So if you look down in the description of this video, there is a link to a second video. So we're going to be doing all the TV stuff right off the bat. We're going to get it done real quick. And then you want to jump over to that second stream where we are having the amazing folks from Comic Storian joining us to talk about Bat v Supes. It's going to be an amazing conversation. Do not miss it. If you have not ever watched this show live, you absolutely should. It's every single Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We're in that California. So join us live. It's the best way to watch the show because you get to chat with us and you get to tweet at us live using the hashtag SHRoundup, and Sam's going to be pulling tweets all throughout the show.
Hello.
If you haven't gone to iTunes, rate and review the show. It helps us out. It just makes everyone real happy and real warm inside, and it also it helps us get advertisers, which keep the show on the air. So let's do that, shall we?
Thank you. Please and thank you.
Yeah.
Please and thank you. Look at those hands.
So shall we
right.
talk about Supergirl?
Yeah, send me your thoughts on Supergirl using the hashtag SHR.
Yeah,
SHRoundup. There you go.
Yeah,
That's the hashtag.
and we always have a question of the day. Today's question of the day are, what are your thoughts on Batman v Superman? And obviously, save those for the next half hour and start tweeting them for the second stream, okay? So, Supergirl, this week, we got some Martian Manhunter backstory.
Yeah. Bunch of flashbacks.
Bunch of flashbacks.
Bunch of okay flashbacks.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how you guys felt, but I thought the Martian Manhunter and the Alex flashbacks were completely disposable.
Oh, yeah.
And it was one of those that, like, they were the most boring, like whatever you thought could have happened in the past, that was the most boring version of them.
Basically, they explained it all when they didn't say anything. They're like, hey, did you kill Hank Henshaw? Yeah. And then they go back there, and basically Martian Manhunter made the same face.
To be fair with the Martian Manhunter we did get to see more Martian Manhunter, and I keep waiting for it to not be impressive. And it is always impressive.
It's always impressive. It looks
shocking.
great.
Wow. Every week.
But that's what I'm saying is because of that, I actually like the Martian Manhunter flashback.
Oh, you like the snake chase?
Yes, I like the snake chase.
You like the
that
snake
boa
chase?
constrictor that is not going to do anything to cheer him.
Just so we're aware, it was so
That's
comic
a pet.
booky. It was
That's a pet. People own that. People own that.
That is Snoop Dogg's actual snake.
That's Dean Kane's actual pet that he brought into the set. He's like, do you want to use my snake? And he was like, Dean, we were on the show before, I guess, man.
Here's what I appreciated about the episode. And I don't know about you guys. I like that they didn't just retcon everything that happened during last week's amazing Red Kryptonite episode.
We had the robbers were scared of her when she was, which actually seems like might be working in her favor. That seemed like stopping robbery was way easier.
It was like way easier. I loved the interrogations with both Hank and Alex.
I love Eddie McClintock.
We're divided on that.
Yeah, I think Matt and I are not on the side.
I feel like he's a little miscast. He's more of a quipster. I see him as that Warehouse 13 guy. Maybe that's my own bias.
Great show.
Yeah, I didn't like when Lucy just suddenly is like, she passed her lie detector test. Alex passed and then she's like, No, you're lying, and you go to jail forever because I think you're lying.
Yeah. What if that happened in courts?
Yeah.
What if they're like, you know what? I'm not feeling it.
That might happen in clandestine secret bases where like, yep, screw it. I think you're lying anyway.
Yeah.
You're out of here.
Yeah.
My favorite part was actually Kara's flashback. I thought when we come back to like kid Supergirl, I'm like, don't do this. But it ended up that was really interesting. And then even more importantly, when she first met Kat. I thought that was really cool. Their dynamic is always really cool.
Yeah.
True.
I really, really liked that. I loved seeing who Kara was when she got this job based on her father's advice and like trying to fit in and everything like that. And it was a really, really effective scene. Really, the big takeaway for me this week is the fact that we have Cadmus in this universe.
Oh, that was crazy
Makes
for
me so excited because like that's the one thing about Argus is like, okay, well, if you have Argus, you can't have Cadmus in the Flash Arrowverse. Or at least, am I wrong? Because I've always ever seen Amanda Waller running Cadmus. And maybe
I don't know.
I don't.
Maybe they could. I like the explanation of Cadmus in this episode that it's basically like just experiment on aliens and do worse things to people, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Take
Why would you do that?
threats,
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
reverse engineer the powers and try to put them in unwilling humans.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fun.
Oh, I mean, her sister having powers would be kind of fun, but I hope she doesn't get them that
It just
way.
sounds like a supervillain factory.
Well, and
Yes.
right. And talking about stakes and them not
government-funded.
just throwing away the development of last week. Now Alex and Hank are on the run.
Yeah.
To try and figure out what happened to Jeremiah, who I guess isn't dead, even though the
He's
flashback was blood spewing out of his mouth, which could still mean
Apparently
he was
alive
dead.
in Cadmus.
idea.
Yes.
He's our Hank Henshaw.
Oh, the cyborg
he's our,
Superman?
He's our cyborg
You know
Superman.
what? That would be
Kane.
really cool for
That
a
would be-
variety of reasons.
Yeah.
One, he was Superman.
I know.
And my favorite version of Cyborg Superman is when it was Kara's Kryptonian father.
Yeah, I've heard that story.
Yeah, so like having
Is
a
that New 52?
That's New 52. Having a be your Earth dad would be really cool.
That's a really cool way to like recycle and repurpose like old storylines. That's a really effective
I think
story.
it'd be cool.
The other cool thing about Cadmus is we might get Superboy.
I know, that's immediately what I thought.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like-
we're getting Superboy.
That
For
would
sure,
that
we're
would
getting
be
Superboy.
so cool because their personalities would clash a lot. Because right now in the New 52, both Superboy and Supergirl are like needlessly angsty about everything.
Yes.
but
So
this
is that
Supergirl
our-
isn't. So like,
Is Superboy our season 1 finale cliffhanger? That
I think
Superboy
it might have
exists?
something to do with Jeremiah, probably, or
Yeah.
I know that this finale is going to have to deal with them dealing with the Kryptonians, and I just want them to have it be definitive.
All those sneaky
Yeah, can we
Kryptonians.
just finish this fucking storyline already?
because
it's so boring.
It doesn't really work that
Yeah.
way.
I like it.
I think it was moderately more effective when her aunt,
Yes.
just because there was a personal connection there, and now
Exactly.
it's doesn't even have that.
I'm a big fan of these episodes. It's been making the show much more appealing. It's
Yeah.
making the show
It's-
is picking up.
It's doing what Flash and Arrow did really well of utilizing the source material really well, especially now that we have Martian Manhunter and
Best thing the show could have done.
yeah,
the best thing the show could have
potential,
done.
and then
Yeah.
next week we've got the Flash crossover.
Oh, you guys, we're gonna do a special thing for the Flash Supergirl crossover. I'm so excited for
What
that.
is?
episode.
What are we doing?
Oh, I believe we're doing a little extra live stream right after the regular live stream, and we're gonna have a special guest.
Yes.
You might want you to come by
So
next
it's like
week.
this week where we have 2 live streams.
Yes.
One's the rest of the shows, and one will be the crossover.
Yes,
Amazing.
but I'm hoping
Yes,
our
son.
opinions on Flash Supergirl will be less divisive.
You should watch later for Batman v Superman.
Man,
But
teaser for
Supergirl out of 10.
this episode, I give it I give it 8 out of for Supergirl levels. That's
Yeah.
a
yeah.
8.
Do you guys know what I gave last week?
No, I
I don't know. I don't remember.
You gave last week, I believe, a 9.5.
Okay, I'm gonna say 8.5 on this one.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah, solid. But like again, I thought the flashback, like Party Girl Alex, like this badass scientist person, I guess was just a party girl before.
Sure.
And
That
then she
seems-
became an alien hunter.
That
Yes.
seems
It's
like-
very logical.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
I'll give it an 8. It's
8.
just, it's like a completely inoffensive, at times enjoyable hour of my life.
Yeah.
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 Great.
Great way to describe it.
Yeah, great.
Folks
Ringing
are
endorsement
saying
from Matt.
7s, 7.5s, 8, solid 6.
My Sam.
Yeah.
Do you have any tweets about Supergirl?
No, I wasn't looking. No, I wasn't looking. If I'm gonna
To
be
be
honest.
fair.
Oh, from at Sam Basher, seems like a great guy. He saying love this week. What about Shield? How's Shield doing?
Well, that's a great. Thank you, Sam, for writing in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So this
Great
week's
banner.
Marvel's Agents of Shield, called "Parting Shot." If you didn't get all the subtext,
Oh,
there.
you know what? I just got the title in relation to the end of the episode.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's all
so-
clicking.
So fun. I have a lot of problems with this episode because it
Tell us, Matt.
Well, it's just like they had a storyline in mind
Uh-huh.
for the whole rest of the season. They assumed that Marvel's Most Wanted wasn't happening. And then ABC changed their mind and were like, you know what? We're taking it to series. And they're like, okay. And shuffling papers around. They're just like, here, we can have them exit the show here.
Is
I
it
feel
going
like
straight to series? I thought it was just getting a pilot or something.
It is, but it's pretty much like
Okay.
It's
pretty
kinda-
much
How are
gone.
we
Yeah.
gonna between that? Is Agent Carter coming back? Do we know?
I
Not
don't
yet.
know.
No.
I don't know.
Okay, because if that's all three,
Send me your
like, how does
thoughts on
that
this
happen?
episode.
Right. But that's the thing is like the motivations that Bobby and Hunter had for leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. only manifested themselves this episode.
Yeah.
And that's where they ended.
Yeah.
And it was just like you're going to excise the 2 best parts of your show
Yeah.
in just like the cheapest blandest way possible.
Hey,
evil.
Listen, Shadow Guy was kind of cool
Dark
looking.
Force, the Shadow Guy.
And when Bobby ran in and shot the fuck out of that one guy to kill Shadow Guy, that was
It was what it was.
Right,
Evil Bunny on Twitter writes, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. made the worst decision, but had a great episode. It was okay. Yeah. At the end, I definitely kind of started to choke up a little, which was weird.
Yeah, I kind of
People are saying they're crying. Marvel Agent Daisy cried so hard.
Mm-hmm.
There's another folk who said...
Scott Alverson says Florida.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm drowning. I'm
Yeah.
drowning in fandoms. Writes, I don't cry at shows and movies. I barely even like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. But holy shit, I had to try so hard not to cry at the end of that episode.
I like the beginning, like when they set it up and they're all getting shots. I'm like, that's sweet. And then the scene kept going.
And it's like shots
going.
of everybody.
It kept going. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. No, we were talking before the show. I just want to have somebody figure out a way to shop in Iron Man doing the toast and Captain America,
right, they're all
and
there,
it's just like random people, a Kree, us, like.
All the fans are going to give you guys a shot. They're dead at the end.
Yeah. Are you guys Are you guys excited about Marvel's Most Wanted? Especially consider if this was a backdoor pilot to it.
It all depends on who's writing it. Like, maybe it'll be the more nimble, fun, like, sexy caper version of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. meets, like, the first 2 seasons of Alias.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Lighter
If it's more of the fun spy stuff, which was weird. I got another episode where it was more spy stuff, and it was like, for some reason, it wasn't clicking for me this week.
Because it felt forced.
There was a coup, if we can just really talk about that really quick.
Oh, yeah,
there was a coup
in Russia?
for entire Russia.
It
was just like, I guess the prime minister showed up in this weird warehouse.
Which also, I'm not quite sure I understand the resolution. Like, we were able to get them out from being murdered because they don't get to be agents for this agency that we deny even exists.
No. The president is now a character on this show. You don't understand. Don't worry. The president,
obviously, you missed out on William Sadler as the president, and he said no.
And him and Coulson are best friends.
Is it wrong of me? By the way, R.I.P. Gary Shandling, who was part of Hydra.
Not Hive.
Not Hive. That's a different world. Is it wrong? I like Hunter a lot.
I do too.
I want him to have a gimmick, I think, what it comes down to. I want him to pick up some of Hawkeye's traits. Because it's just compared to Mockingbird, it's just like, you traded down, Bobby. You traded down a little bit.
Wait, from Hawkeye or just from anybody?
Just from the, it just feels like,
it doesn't
feel like a relationship of equals. It doesn't feel like a relationship of equals.
No, but that's... What relationship is a relationship of equals? He's constantly trying to...
Let's deep dive into that, huh?
No, I'm just saying, he's constantly trying to, win her approval, which is, the sweetest thing, because he already has her approval.
Okay, well, at least she has, the batons or something. I want him to have something.
Oh,
maybe
you want him to have, an action
You want him...
Right? Is that wrong of me?
No, it's not wrong.
He has poison darts. They come out of his fingertips.
Maybe he's one of the best shots in the MCU. Maybe not Hawkeye or Bullseye level, but he's up there.
No, he's
like
Daredevil. He can take a beating.
He's like a level 3 headshot. He's not great. He misses sometimes. But
Vagrant Spectator 38 agrees with you, DJ. Could have been a more distinguished gunslinger or sniper.
I think secretly what I wish that they hadn't cast Jeremy Renner to play Hawkeye for a variety of reasons.
Sure.
And they cast somebody that they could be on the TV show, so it could be Hawkeye and Mockingbird.
Right.
Because that, Marvel's Most Wanted with Hawkeye and Mockingbird, sold.
Here's the thing.
Done.
I think that Jeremy Renner would totally do a Hawkeye TV show if they'd let him.
That'd be fun.
But I don't...
Be a blast.
The version of Hawkeye that was in Avengers Age of Ultron is boring to me.
Really?
And I don't think... It's not Jeremy Renner. So no shade thrown to Jeremy Renner. I don't... I'm not engaged. And no shade to Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is a great character. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Okay.
I got one more tweet at Shy from that
Siobhan Smythe?
Yeah, I cried so hard, not because of the sappy ending, but because the episode was so bad the show was ruined. No. That's a little harsh.
That's a little
harsh.
One scene I did was when May was confronting Hunter about I like their relationship, May and Hunter, except it did bother me that it was kind of like, listen, you were willing to sacrifice my husband for somebody you cared about. But
that's exactly what you did.
It's the same situation. It's literally the same situation.
Hot in the kettle. Yeah.
And I kept waiting for him to call her on that, and he's like, I feel bad for you, or I respect you, or both.
The ending was nice, but I think I'd give this episode like a 6.5, 6.5.
I would do that too.
Yeah.
6.5.
I'll give it a 7. Oh, that's so nice of you.
If they shaved off about 25 seconds off that ending shot montage, I would give it a 7 too.
I wanted a few more shots. Just that table's filled.
And also, it's one of those moments that I don't know if I buy that everybody cares about everybody that much.
Shield.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's Shield.
Like if it was May leaving again, like Coulson and May's relationship, I buy into. At this point, they've done a good job. Like, Bobby Hunter, if they had to split up somehow, I'd buy whatever.
Yeah. So we gave our number grades. We're going to move on to Flash and Arrow. But real quick, if you're just joining us, know that we're going to be talking about Batman v Superman in a separate stream immediately following this one. There is a link in the description. You can click on that to jump into our discussion on the movie with Comic Storian. It's going to be awesome.
Or just hang out on the YouTube channel on youtube.com/SourceFedNERD. It'll be right up, I promise.
Oh, man. Lots of 6s, 4, 2, 8.5,
So say we all.
1.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.66, number of the beast.
I mean, this week's Flash is definitely higher than this.
Of the episodes we watched this week, my
Flash
favorite was
is the
Flash.
episode of the week.
Yeah. Trajectory was great. I loved her intro. The weird club scene. You always need one of those in every series.
Was anybody else tripped out by how casually Iris and Barry were talking about, when we get married?
That was cute. You got to kind of bring it up, right?
Yeah.
You're like, future us is married, alternate us is married. Like, should we
maybe you want to try?
I mean, we're like siblings.
Whoa.
We're siblings, but you want to go
brother and sister.
I liked.
But we live in a post Game of Thrones universe.
Not that it matters with the way the episode ended, but Wally and Jesse.
Yeah,
you mean that weird
sparks of
hey,
fire.
I'm Wally
Where
West.
are you from? Is it far away? Is that how people ask people that question?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how you ask.
Yeah, you're right. I guess there wasn't really any chemistry between them, but I'm still like, they're gonna get together.
I thought there was chemistry. It's just the way the questions you phrased were kind of weird.
Yeah,
we're kind of specifically like, I know you're from an alternate universe.
Wink.
Yeah, I've read the script. Wink. I liked them diving into like the Velocity 9 storyline, and that Caitlin was doing stuff. She was doing stuff this episode.
I do wish we'd seen that scientist before this episode.
That would have helped.
In one of the Velocity 9 episodes, we'd just seen her like, oh, hey, my friend, or a mention, my friend that's helping me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe we did. Tell me in the comments down below.
I love going back to Mercury Labs. Love that. And her costume was really good.
Her costume
better
was
than
cool.
Flash's. Even I like Barry's
Flash's
now.
costume.
Yeah, well, it's the helmet. The helmet's too bulky. They need to do something like they did with Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. Like they just move it around a little bit.
Or just have it be like I don't know.
Well, it's not like they can get Grant Gustin to shave his head. If they shaved his head, they can make it nice.
Like
and
scalp
again,
and
they
bones,
did it.
or
They
like
did it
the
with
hair?
Daredevil.
Shaved his hair.
They did it with Daredevil. He kept his hair, and it worked. You can fix it. The point is, Daredevil showed me you can fix it, and it makes the whole costume better.
That's true. And you can get a cool episode where his head's exposed.
Yeah.
Good. It was a very cool.
It wasn't as cool.
I'm just saying that I would be very afraid for Barry running around all the time without a helmet because he's gonna crack his head open.
What did you guys think about how quickly they figured out that Jay was Zoom without even Jay being around?
It made me physically angry.
Why?
Really?
Yes.
You weren't at least happy that maybe they got it out of the way?
Oh, I'm thrilled that they got it out of the way, but I'm just like, if it was this simple, fucking, we could have done this 4 episodes ago.
Wait, I got a tweet. Philip with an F. Writes, trajectory in one episode became a much more interesting villain than Zoom.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then she became blue, and I was like, is she gonna split into 2 different people? Nah, she just fucking died.
She just died.
Her body just melted out of her suit.
Did she die, or was she sucked into the Speed Force, or maybe the blue anti-Speed Force? That's not a thing in the comics, by the way. I'm just making wild guesses here.
She turned blue.
She turned blue. Maybe she just
turned
maybe
blue.
she just vanished
The
into
lightning
the Speed
turned
Force.
She's turning blue.
Yeah.
But she
It's
was
Violet,
more
you're
compelling.
turning violet,
There you go.
Violet.
Thank you. There you go. Somebody grabbed
That's a
it.
Willy Wonka reference.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, kids.
Yeah.
Cisco, keep vibing. Keep doing your vibe stuff.
No Reason asks, why did Cisco vibe a black room?
I was wondering if that was not supposed to be a physical space so much as knowledge, just information being translated.
That's what I
'cause
got.
I guess Zoom's just chilling in a room thinking real hard before he takes his mask off.
I like their test of. I like when Barry jumped over the bridge that collapsed.
Yeah,
that was
the
cool.
bridge at the end.
And I love showing trajectory, stealing everything, going through
That
the
was
club.
really the way they did. Actually, the directing was maybe a little overboard at some points, but overall was really solid.
It
It was
was really
kinetic.
sharp.
Yeah, especially when depicting trajectory. We were talking a little bit about that with Yo-Yo, how Flash could stand to switch it up a little bit, and they did this episode. It was real cool.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 10?
I get it 8.9.
8.9.
Got to the number at the end.
8.9.
Didn't I? Yeah.
I think. Matt, what's yours?
I'm gonna give it an 8.3.
Oh.
Basically, I liked a lot of the episode. I do think it was kind of like overly simplistic. It's like, oh, Barry's working on a jump. I wonder if he's gonna jump it later.
Faster.
He needs to get faster.
You don't always need to get faster.
Well, I did like always. Yeah. I did like the conflict between him and Caitlin of like, I've been trying to go faster, and there's a thing that you made that I could go faster, and you wouldn't let me go faster with the fast drug.
Dr. Wells, let me go faster. Barry, you can't go faster. If you go faster, you'll die.
But you need to go faster.
But Zoom is so much faster than me.
When are they just gonna figure out that Zoom's not going fast? He's just slowing down time.
Maybe he's
not.
Maybe he's just going faster.
Just fast.
Remember Turtle?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'm going to split the difference between you boys, and the only reason I would score higher because I really did enjoy this episode was a little bit of that, and also the scream at the end. I thought was way over the top.
You didn't like that?
Because
smashing the glass.
I don't buy Flash caring that much. Does anybody on that show care that much about Jay? I'm not even sure I believe Caitlin cares that much about Jay.
Really quick. Oh God, 1,666. The devil. But I thought it made sense because he didn't trust him, gained his trust, even though Jay's story was pretty much garbage for a lot of the season.
Right.
But also Zoom paralyzed him, threatened his whole family, all these things, and he was still putting his trust in Jay, and now he's been betrayed.
But can I pitch you a different way of ending it?
Sure.
With that same emotion.
Yeah.
So upon realizing that this person that he knew not to trust, everyone convinced him to trust. He started to trust him and like considered him like a friend and a partner and everything.
Yes.
And he's running and he's going so fast and he's so angry. Maybe even with a couple flashes, no pun intended, of like moments from the season, things where he's realizing, oh shit, this was Zoom, and he's just screaming as he's running, and then he winks out of existence. You're like, what the fuck just happened? And then he pops up on Supergirl. Would have been a much better way to end the episode.
You don't understand. They only had.
Sorry,
I was going to say they only had a minute left in the episode. They didn't have time for that.
That requires you. They trust the audience to be watching both shows on two different networks simultaneously. I think the Flash crossover with Supergirl may get a mention on Flash, but otherwise will be completely self-contained on Supergirl.
Well,
probably.
No, you have him. What?
There's fan theories, but we're running out a little bit of time. We got to talk about Arrow.
We got to talk about
Arrow.
Which, like,
Cupid.
DJ, you complimented the directing in Flash this week.
Yeah.
The directing on Arrow this week was like conspicuously weird and bad. Like there were a couple scenes with Cupid where there were just shots that didn't make sense.
She held her bow and arrow like this, and then shot it, and then the arrows went like that for some reason.
The old split. It's a crazy archery move.
Maybe I'm thinking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm just like, I remember there being like a cutaway to something down by her waist, and then nothing happened. It was just sort of like a random shot thrown in for nowhere.
Here's my takeaway.
I remember that. Yeah, I was like, why did you show that? And then he's holding something. You're like, did he steal like her underwear?
Here's my takeaways from Arrow this week. I like it when they lean into Cupid being crazy. I think that's a fun variation. I actually had fun with Cupid this week. I know that's, I guess, blasphemous for a lot of people.
No, I don't.
This is the first
Cupid.
episode that I actually liked Cupid as a.
She's
antagonist.
stupid.
But
thank you.
The only other thing that really stood out to me is I really liked the limousine motorcycle. The idea of superheroes on motorcycles chasing a wedding limo was so fun.
Yeah.
Just that moment I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
There were fun things.
This is the benefit of doing TV show superhero stuff because you do stuff like that. And it's something I'd love to see if they ever did a Punisher TV show, or car chases, because that's something that you can't do on Daredevil, because Daredevil can't drive.
Hey, he can drive. I mean, he could maybe drive.
I don't know. I feel like
if he's out the window like screaming, like so that like it bounces off the walls. Like,
I really appreciate the fact that they called out the Cupid stupid and the fact that people didn't like it.
Yeah.
She didn't need to come back.
No.
Thea was fun this episode, bringing up the whole like socialite aspect of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
I thought she was more enjoyable. Her and Laurel were more enjoyable this week than they are in general.
I like the flashback more than I like the main story, and that's saying something.
Wow.
Laurel did a lot this episode.
Flashbacks are so disposable this season. I've grown
way
really bored with them.
less so. They are disposable, more interesting than last season.
Really, I actually think they've grown. I've grown more tired of them than I did last season.
Damn.
Yeah. And last season they were real wonky.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But it is funny that like hierarchy, because there's a lot of legal stuff going on TV right now. There's like the People versus OJ and Better Call Saul, and so you got that level, and then the more superhero-y heightened level was Daredevil, and then even more heightened was like, I guess,
Laurel versus Damien Dark.
They accuse Diggle of perjury, and then nothing happens. He just gets to walk out of the courtroom
because it's not a real trial. She's just presenting evidence.
Okay.
It's a hearing.
It was fun. I like seeing the show again. When you have multiple episodes, you get to see them try different stuff. That was cool.
I like that they tried that on. Can we talk about Felicity? Because a lot of people are saying in the chat they're calling her rude words, which I honestly, I'm like, I didn't have a problem with Felicity this episode. A lot of people seem to, but it's like, fucking, when you're in a relationship like that and you're supposed to be getting married and he lies about having a kid, you have a pretty good reason to not want to be with this dude.
Then don't go help him fight crime.
Well, that's why she's not doing it anymore.
Yeah, but she still did it, and like then
this episode, and then she realized she couldn't, so she walked away. I'm going to call this Skylar syndrome.
Skylar White.
Yeah, where you have a protagonist that might be doing some sketchy stuff, but he's your protagonist. The show is completely designed around you rooting for him. So even if the significant other does things that make perfectly logical sense, they're the ones spoiling the fun.
Kind of.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's also like, you know, he came out and said all those wonderful things during the fake wedding.
Yeah.
And it's like, shouldn't that be enough to get her to want to try again? No.
It also doesn't help that the way they got them apart was so contrived.
That's true.
And so that makes it seem ridiculous for Felicity to be against it because the whole situation was so ridiculous.
It's silly.
It would have been better. They should have accepted the fact that Oliver is still struggling with being a dick, and he didn't have any reason to not tell her about the son except that he just chose not to. He legitimately chose to keep something like that a secret from her because that's a legit reason to not want to be with somebody.
Especially, it's like, you know, what's the definition of insanity? It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
She keeps going back to this guy and trusting this guy who continues to lie to her, and that's just not the life that she wants.
Well, nobody should ever have to go through that. But also, remember when they were like, Damien Dark kidnapped this kid, and they're like, no, he was kidnapped. And it was like, what? Why did that? Was that an argument? And who was like, no, I was under duress. So it's like, all right, you got me there.
But remember, he's not Damien Dark. He's
Fletcher Jones Auto Parts.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was something else.
Yeah.
This episode was a solid 6.
6?
A little lower if I wanted to go, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stay at 6.
I say 6.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the generous one this week. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I think. No, that's 7. I'll give it a 7.
7 is
there
fair.
you go.
Yeah, maybe I'm a 6.5 between the two boys.
There you go. We did it, guys.
Yeah,
we did it. We ran down all those
guys.
shows.
We have 2 minutes left. Can I do my poll list?
Do your
real quick?
poll list, and then we're
quick.
gonna hop over to the Batman v Superman stream. It's gonna be amazing.
All right, over at DC, Justice League of America number 8 is coming out. That's
been
Brian
dope.
Hitcher's run. It's cool. Check it out.
Go Ralph.
Also, Mega Man number 10. Enjoy it while it lasts, kids, because when DC Rebirth happens, this and Black Canary and We Are Robin are all going away.
Yes.
So enjoy these fun side things while they last. Over in the indie world, Saga number 35. Saga. I've talked to a bunch about it.
It's friggin' Saga.
Everyone says read Saga.
Also, over at Valiant is Faith number 3.
I've heard great things.
Yeah, I've heard great things about Faith. I highly recommend checking that out. And it's fun to see them try to do different things with superheroes, to have superheroes represent more us, normal people, look like normal people. Yeah. Also,
So they're chubby.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I like that.
Well, you figured it out pretty quick.
Over at Marvel, if you liked the Daredevil series, check out Daredevil number 5. That comes out next week.
It's been cool.
Also, spinning out of the Secret Wars, X-Men 92 number 1.
Cool.
So the X-Men, a cartoon from the 90s is
X-Men 92.
Is getting its own series. Set in that universe with the animated series characters.
Morph.
It continues on. Yeah.
Morph. Very cool.
Miss Moore.
Awesome. You guys ready for some Batman v Superman?
Oh, man.
So, gang, you need to click on the link in the description, hop over to the other stream. We're going to be setting up and getting that started in just a moment. Don't go away. It's going to be amazing. Those of you who are listening or watching this later, thank you so much for tuning in. Check out that video or audio podcast, whatever you prefer. And why don't you go to iTunes, rate and review the show. I'm Lieberman.
I'm Sam.
I'm DJ.
There you go.
All right, see you in a minute. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.